Now, April was a very successful TikTok influencer whose brand was built around a happy home, full of fun, sometimes quirky and touching moments, and a lot of positivity. She built her brand with the theme of overcoming adversity and manifesting your best. Her best life included her children, 11-year-old Serena, and her son, 7-year-old Denzel. They made many positivity videos, manifest the life you want type of things, and sometimes they just did some fun little dance moves.
Happy 29th birthday to me. I am blessed to experience another year of life. I have lived through 10,585 days.
Donovan Holt was April's husband, where they shared together time on TikTok. Together, they shared their origin story, how they met and became best friends, later lovers, and then man and wife.
Hope you have an amazing day on purpose. Be intentional and grow just a little bit. Progress over perfection.
So
Yeah,
being friends is important.
he really is like my bestest friend ever.
The best.
The best friend I could ever ask for. And I married him.
Base of the whole relationship, the foundation was that we were friends. So even through the bullshit, we can joke around and maintain that friendship. I mean, it's what kept us through our separation, honestly. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, fairy tale lives are seldom true, and this couple did separate. In fact, they were separated for almost 3 years. They did reluctantly decide to get back together because they had never truly broken the ties. Was it because they had such a strong relationship, or was it a cycle of an unhealthy relationship that drew them back together again? And this time, it was.
So lately, I have been going through just a lot, and I can definitely say that I'm in like a depressed state. Like I'm just overwhelmed, and I know that like I'm manifesting more negative experiences on myself with how I've been. So I have to get out of this funk. So I'm going to literally fake it till I make it. And I've done this before. Talk about how I'm gonna fake it till I make it while I put on lash extensions because I had a mental breakdown the other night and I plucked all of my lashes off.
2 weeks prior to her death, April filed for divorce. The marriage had been rocky. They shared their intimate moments on TikTok and explained their divorce.
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am. Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
okay, so the story is that we are getting divorced because of our decision. It's my best friend. I still love her to death. Like we still got a child together. We still gonna be hanging out. I'm probably
All
gonna
the
see
time.
her most days of the week, but at the end of the day, that's it. You feel me? She has a path to go. I got a path to go, but our paths to pay her live. We always gonna be next to each other.
Yeah.
And who's to say what's gonna happen in the future? All that we know is right now. Right now, it's the best. I mean, real talk, it's the best decision for both of us. For her to do what she needs to do, for me to do what I need to do. So
we can grow and heal and
that's it.
elevate. No hard feelings. This is not a messy divorce or anything like that. We don't do that. This is like I said, like he said, this is my best friend at the end of the day. He has been before the relationship, before the marriage, before the kid. So nothing's going to change. So
Like, look at her, bro. Like I would never lose this forever. For real. And look.
so we're good, y'all. We're
For
good.
real, like for real, for real.
Promise y'all.
See the Barbie movie. She said, Donovan has to work. I can't go to the movie, but I'll meet you at church in Blast. This is the Blast classroom tomorrow. The phone rang, and it was Donovan, and he said he was upset, kind of like in a panic upset. He's like, we found April. She wasn't breathing, and so she's in the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
At the hospital, Donovan was not distraught, but instead, her mother remembered him holding his head in his hands and just rocking back and forth. The mother had to make all of the medical decisions. 3 days later, April was declared dead.
She woke up, drank her coffee, journaled as usual, enjoying her peaceful morning, hugged and kissed her 7-year-old son, Denzel. Her and her husband then went into the bathroom and began to argue and fight. My 7-year-old grandson put his ear to the door and heard his parents fighting, and he looked underneath to see both of their feet. He then listened some more, but he couldn't understand what they were saying, and so he then ran to his room. His dad shortly after came into his room, and he got him dressed and he fed him. And he then had him go check on his mom. He asked him to go check on his mom. 911 was then called. We got to the hospital, and she had no brain function and no blood flow to her brain. We did not find out about the bag, which was not disclosed to us, for over 6 hours. In that time, her husband had went back to the apartment 2 times, not knowing I don't know what he was doing there. On July 31st of 2023, my daughter was pronounced dead, and I want justice.
Jamie was told that her daughter's case would be closed. There was nothing further to investigate. Jamie did not believe this verdict and said, "I will continue to investigate," and stormed out on them. Jamie strategized her fight and knew she must put pressure on local politicians and police by engaging the help of both local celebrities as well as the media. She needed to put pressure on the folks who can make a difference. Jamie was told that there'd be no further investigation because there was no evidence, no marks on the body, or anything else to support the claim that this was not a self-unaliving. However, Jamie's mother had proof and was willing to do the work to obtain the information that showed that April's body did indeed have bruises on it around the neck and some on the arms, some other marks and bruises that the police had just brushed off. Jamie worked for weeks digging through piles of paperwork, finding the medical examiner's report that showed that not only did she have bruises around her neck and arms, she also had a deep gash on her inner thigh. Throughout this time, Jamie worked hard to provide a stable environment for the young kids and help work through their grief. Jamie was quite vocal on TikTok about the grief process and how the children's grief kept her and her husband up at all hours of the night as they too struggled with their own grief issues. This purposed in Jamie a book born to help people cope through their grief and was called Grace Through Grief. During the weeks and ensuing months that followed, as Jamie collected evidence to support her case, Donovan decided to move to Texas. He relocated, and once there, he wanted his son to come with him. You can only imagine the turmoil this must have cost poor Jamie. Because there was no conviction, there was no reason that she had that she shouldn't send him, but the boy did not want to go. She was accused of manipulating his feelings, but she said she would never do that. One way or another, she wanted him just to have a happy childhood. That's her goal.
Randy didn't come with on that trip to go drop him off with his dad. She said she just couldn't do it. Who he was crying too. He didn't want to go. He was crying and saying he said, Grammy, I'll do anything I can to try to stay with you. I don't influence him in any way with his emotions. He's often told that I do, and I on that other side, but I would never do that. I want him to have an opinion of his own, and I want him to be happy, no matter where that is. Whether that, I just want him to be happy and have a fulfilling childhood, and I want him to be with his sister.
The battle for justice is an uphill one, and Jamie knew she must make an impact by bombarding both social media as well as the press. She wrote letters and reached out to celebrities to join her cause, and she realized that no one wanted to pick up this case. This is a certain ruling on it.
News channel in the local Nashville area that has picked up April Holts' story, my daughter. Not one, from day one, and it's been 14 months. And I've reached out to Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 7, Channel 5, any channel out there, including I've reached out to many of the celebrities that are out here. Not one will even respond or take anything on.
Jamie didn't stop with the demands on the media, but reached out for a community review on the case itself and had it reopened. In the ensuing weeks and months, Jamie's relationship deteriorated very quickly with Donovan, and she was actually issued a gag order and had to stop her social media posts. Through much determination, Jamie was able to discover key evidence that broke this case. She found that the bag itself and the duct tape used to secure it around April's neck both had one set of fingerprints on it, and they were not April's. There was only one person they could belong to, and they did. Donovan. Because of the new evidence that Jamie was able to submit, the autopsy itself was reevaluated. This case was reclassified no longer as a self-harming, but as a homicide. Confessed to the crime. In a fit of anger, he had strangled April, and then to conceal the crime, he took a bag and placed it over her head and sealed it with duct tape and left her to die, and then sent his own son to find his mother in the shower in that condition. That is utterly despicable. Donovan was transported from Texas to Tennessee and indicted by a grand jury.
For the homicide of April Holt, he is being transported back to Tennessee. And so that is the update for now. We do have him in handcuffs and he is being transported back. So now we're just waiting for the next steps.
Was indicted for reckless homicide, evidence tampering, and false reporting. Why was this not murder in the first degree? Because somebody who would do this type of thing and expose their child on top of it to the horror that he has to now live with deserves the full extent of the law, in my opinion. What do you all think? Please leave your comments in this comment box and let me know what you all think about this. Thank you so much. justice for April, and God bless you all. And Godspeed to you, Mama. God be with you.
I am trying to get the charges increased. There's no reason that they are as low as they are. There's no reason that they shouldn't be first degree instead of reckless homicide. There should also be child endangerment added to these charges. And so that's my next uphill battle that I'm trying to fight. I should have a new DA, which will be my third one now, sometime next week that will be assigned to this case.